I will say, though, the addition, as opposed to playing the Phoenix, is to play the Sage. And the Sage, if not used to an expert level, tends to lose a lot of value. So we shall see.
Wait, and we've got Mel on the Cypher here. So we are without the chamber for Cloud9 White. This comp screams 12-0 on defense. That's what this comp screams. It says you have to 12-0 here because your attacking strengths are almost none. Fortunately for Cloud9, they're starting on the defense, and Bob starts Ascent just like she did Haven. And although it's not a flawless pistol round, near flawless is just as good. Cat, it's the full house between Bob and Alexis, and it's Cloud9 White for the pistol.
It's Cloud9 White for the pistol, indeed, taking it to him as quick as ever to get back into things. And, well, City Boys, you know, hey, you had a pretty good map, number 1. Don't slip up here, man. Keep it coming. And all right, so round 2 will put us underway, and these folks looks like they're gonna come to that A main angle. Thinking about it though, you recognize the fact that they start over towards B, movement towards that T spawn, and now it's a look for City Boys to come where they. That was a late decision.
They don't really bring much into this. We'll see how much util they choose to waste, right? That pistol round went so quickly. Giovanni's still sitting on the Prowlers, the C's. So still option for C's nade between Gucci and Giovanni. Flash out. It doesn't flash Okeanos, but Alexis still collects a kill. Meanwhile, Jazzy, aggressive inside B main. Now needs to pop that wall up. The pink shells will force her back. The wall goes down. And Alexis eventually gets punished on the opposite side of the map. But no despair. Cloud9 White steal a kill back and are still a player ahead in the Arsenal, obviously. Sitting a whole lot prettier for this defense as Bob collects another.
Yeah, Zachary into astral form and sent into the stars.
One enemy remaining.
Timing on a main, and oh, catch the Spectre spray down for Pancakes and Giovanni as well. That's the wrap of the round. 2-0 for Cloud9 White. They will keep themselves 3 Spectres alive. And Jazzykins, man, talk about the timing. So dangerous that far up towards lobby. We typically do see Sage players, though, if they're not playing towards mid, they're playing pretty deep into B main. And your life on the line almost every single round, but gets the contact, gets the wall, and gets that slow orb afterwards. Entirely stalls any push towards B main, so much so they walk away, straight into the danger of Bob.
And I do want to shout out Bob and Alexis in recent games for Cloud9 White have been standout performers. I don't know if that's just because the roles are fitted well. Obviously, Bob playing the initiator, Alexis a bit more on the flex role, but even on Haven, they started off really strong. I think both of them 6 and 4, or 6 kills for Bob, 4 kills for Alexis at one point, and just really looking head and shoulders above the rest. So the recipe to success, make sure your initiators are doing well for Cloud9 White. Meanwhile, in this round, we're still kind of a 5-point stance for City Boys across the map.
And of course, we get the knees and toes as well to come through on the Sentinels. That double Sentinel look of Mel and Jazzykins. And so far, the util's been quite nice. They continue to do such a thing. Then they stall this push off. Tripwire's gone down to what was that Prowler. This team's going to look to step forward. Instant slow war back here from Jazzykins. And a little nerd cam from Mel will catch the step into sight. Jonas thinks he's got the space, but more than aware is going to be this team. Bob will catch it. That's a rifle upgrade.
A nice little upgrade there for Bob. Arguably one of the players you don't want to have it on if you're City Boys. Pancakes, however, looking to follow suit with Okeanos and it's Gucci instead to collect the kill. Cages go up, Trapwire's down. Now Mel in a tough spot as the next cage goes out, and that's the spike down on the site. The fragment forces her off the angle for just a second. Still able to swing and try and take the fight as Jazzykins gets taken down, and Cat is there for the trade. The spike falls once more, and now it's the backstab for Zachary. A healthy Astra, a Phantom, a Spectre, and it's Zachary to clutch it out.
Confidence there into that one. Walk straight into Cat, and is going to win that fight out. The 1v2 is good for Zachary. I mean, a 1-on-2 score line. So City Boys good to find their first. They'll take the anti-bonus. We'll look into that first gun round of the game. Interesting rebuys for City Boys here. I don't know if they got enough to actually warrant coming out. It will be lack of utility, lack of armor. This is a question mark. Almost worth giving this one away. Because you force too hard in this one, you lose the round. Eco in the dumpster, and then you lose the second one to go with it. So, yeah, there'll be some cells to come through. They are going to play into that next round bye. So, Cloud9 White, enough damage, enough value into last round that even though they take the loss, they should have the easy win for this one.
Jazz, oh man, a couple of shots, okay. A couple of long-range shots, one of them from the ultimate to Bob, and eventually does collect the kill. The op did some damage, not quite enough to find the frags in response. And when you look at, oh man, before you can get to the next point, Gucci is showing off here. Headshot onto Alexis.
Wall came through early for the cheeky angle up towards mid, and Oki's able to catch that frag. So he's got the space now. He's picked up an operator for his troubles. And that could be scary, the implications of it moving forward. It's all that good control towards B main, and Bob's got Gucci through the wall. So she's happy to have that one. Kiana's now going to play forward. No cam up this go. So
one enemy remaining.
Well, it's timing. Hate to see it. Mel has that one. We get a 1-on-3, and Zachary has stars. One player to deal with. There's a chance for this one.
There is a chance. And if anybody can do it.
30 seconds left.
Nice.
Ooh, nice jump over the trap wire. So won't be spotted or heard really until he drops down on the site. He's got the spike in hand. Not expecting Mel still to be here though. Why would you?
Yeah.
Why would you expect Mel to still be here? Nonetheless, she is. And who other than Mel? Leave it up to Mel to grab Cypher from the depths. Cypher was buried alive in this chamber Killjoy Sage Sentinel meta, and Mel is slowly but surely digging him from his grave and making him look so damn good. 3-1, sure, but to have 4 assists on top of it and just to continuously best Okeanos, Mel's really doing it early in this game.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I will say, speaking towards the meta of the composition, this is quite the defensive comp. This team has to win almost every defensive round. Attacking's not going to be easy. There's no duelists in this one. There's no chambers, no extra space that's going to be taken playing that double sentinel. So there's question marks to be had. Can step forward so quickly into a suppression, though, so it's not going to have that showstopper, and we'll have his showstop by Cat, who has 2. Alexa's good for another. As Pancakes traded quickly. Another from Scaffold, KO player. Alexa's good for a 2K now. To be honest, Lurk, last player alive, up towards main. It's a 1v4, that you're not really expecting much out of him.
How could you? How could you? You got the high-low. You have another player in Alexis holding the angle just a bit wider, and it was an operator to sit Okeanos down. That right there is for City Boys, one that you wish you could have back. For Cloud9 White, however, that was played perfectly. They understood the assignment in, hey, when this showstopper goes, Alexis, if you're there, we need you to pop that ult. It was not only a beautiful flash drive to stop Gucci from pushing into the site once he popped the showstopper, but then the null command right after that to make sure that it didn't matter at all. It got scary for Cat for a second because that haunt did its job in kind of breaking that crosshair placement. She still collects 2 kills, and Cloud9 White make that round hurt. But back to your point, right, you mentioned defense. This is the name of the game, right? 11-1 is, I feel like that even is kind of not what you're looking for if you're Cloud9 right? This is like that 12-0 defensive half because it does get scary when you swap over.
Well, we got so many flex agents, right, and these initiators that this conversation faded away pretty early into what was competitive Valorant of, well, we got teams that play pretty hard for the defensive. And we used to analyze, if this team could get 11, surely they could just find 2 more, right?
Right.
Surely they could just steal 2 more rounds away. But since we got all these flexes, it's been this thing where we don't really have defensive offensive comps anymore. But Cloud9 White has showed us what is purely defensive composition, and so far it's working pretty dang good on the defense, so much so City Boys say we need a timeout. We need to think about how we're going to break through this, and we'll see what the answer is going to be. Not this round though, it is the eco. They've got a couple frenzies to work with, and that frenzy going to head its way into mid, but you're not really expecting too much, to be honest. Giovanni's Stinger, unless hey man, it packs a punch. There's not much going on this round.
The fate on this map, especially into the Cypher, is nice, right? Although they are throwing every able body into mid, you can, from downtown at Giovanni, use one of your 2 prowlers to get rid of that trap wire and still have, you know, 1 minute and 15 seconds on the clock to where mid will eventually at some point become a weak spot for Cloud9 White. So obviously this isn't the round. They're just throwing the bodies here at mid. Flash on the outside. Jazzy. See how many kills she can collect with the operator just around the corner. Ooh, wall goes up, and
nice.
They wanted to go deep into spawn. Should they continue to do so, it can't be out towards A. It has to be B instead. They stack up out towards market. Mill back in the boathouse. Bob here to try and help out. An interesting trap wire was in, but he gets caught in it. The cage is out. Mel's looking to play on the inside of it. Now pushing on through. It's a frenzy on the other side. But the feeding frenzy for Mel as the Prowler comes behind. Mel will fall to the Stinger.
30 seconds.
Okeanos will collect one for himself. Wants to do some extra damage and unable to do so. Now both players tagged up. They don't hear the footsteps for Giovanni. And now it's all up to Katsumi. The trails can be so deceiving. Giovanni only needs a headshot. Cat to a body shot. And the utility in hand for Giovanni means the downfall of the Fade.
I will say for a team with 4 frenzies and a Stinger, they got that one pretty close.
Yeah.
Good utility for Cloud9 White all the way through. The Sage Wall to come up as well, pinning this team in. Like animals at the zoo, they've got to go B. There's no choice. Straight into the jaws of Mel. Only issue is Mel's throwing what are good cage trips, but they're cover for City Boys to step in to get close with pistols. And if you're using a pistol against a rifle, you need to be close. So the fact that Mel doesn't have those sight lines anymore to protect her own self allows City Boys to get frags, allows Giovanni to get a rifle, and suddenly that round's way closer than it ever really should have been.
You watch it, find it!
That's a tough one. Jazzikin's put a little too much faith in that slow orb to give her enough time to get that wall out. So she does do so. However, it's right as she dies. That wall going to be cut down and the site to be taken here. No command, turning off all the abilities, making this retake not only a player down, but with no util that much harder.
Solid post plant. Going to be set up here. Gucci on the tight angle outside of mid door and got himself a shorty in hands as well. Hoping to keep Cat's life short if she wants to start this retake for the team. Neighbor's gone up and Gucci's walked straight into danger. So Cat has that one. Yeah, we're going to use that little last bit of wall. So kill onto Mel. Zachary's got one as well out towards B main. Bob with the trade back. Still using this here. Util to play forward. And he's got a nice paranoia to clear out lane.
Player standing.
Okay, nice paranoia. And it got the off the angle. Unfortunately, might not be enough to win the round. Off guard out onto 2 and on the swing or on the cross. Okeanos will find their third. A second round for City Boys. Which, I mean, hey, if it takes a null command and just spamming everything hard to, you know, win a round for City Boys, that's okay for Cloud9 White. Because that's not going to happen but every 4 or 5 rounds.
Very true. Very, very true. The City Boys got to find a way to win without the ultimate. Let's see if this will be around to do so. It's around definitely to prove they can. Technically still a tour de force ultimate, but
want to play,
more
let's
play.
play.
More of a weapon. So let that one slide if a victory does come out when this dust does settle. Prowlers come through early towards B lobby. It's seen nothing. And the Sage has moved away from mid for Cloud9 White. It's a new approach on the defensive this time. And well, it's an approach for Bob to B main. Tour de force player down. Okeanos will fall.
Yeah, that's that op. That's that ult, rather. That we talked about. That, you know, maybe it does take an ult to find a win. And with that, they back all the way out of B main. It allows Mel to get that neural theft. So information that the lean is out towards A here for City Boys. And Jazzy looking to slow things down once more. One-way smoke goes out. Katsumi trying to help her team on the angle. City Boys not sure where they went.
I'm not sure where they can end up either. Weren't expecting that Sage util to come through. Entirely denies the cap push. Both that one way and then the storm on top of it. Secondary one ways on the B main site from the shadows from Cat to get the help. Back towards A though. Execute hasn't fully come through, so they don't want to fully commit that defensive utility. 30 seconds left and City Boys headed for the hills.
And again, it's Mel, right? That the 0 point comes out. There's no answer to it. She immediately pops that cage, and with that City Boys, they can't run through it. However, they can run through the defender. Zachary always playing all by his lonesome, working his way around the map. 2 kills on the round. Now the play out towards mid, and there's only 10 seconds left. You got to find the right players here. Pancakes just getting pulled around by the trap wires, trying to answer for something, but the op shot doesn't land. There's no time on the clock, and Mel locks down the B site. Cloud9 White, they hang on again, and this, their City Boys feeling right now, Cat. This has to feel horrible to play against.
That's so hard with so much util, and man, if we want to clip a replay of that round, the biggest moment, it's Jazzy can slow orb Cat. The little slow orb that could, it wins the round. Thrown with 20 seconds left after Alexis' fragment had gone down. So that doesn't get value, but the slow gets all the value. Those two players trying to work their way up through to Cat on the split to go A site. They can't. There's nothing. And it's so tough because Zachary gets those frags, makes the spacing, but the teammates cannot link up because of that late Sage utility. They're using this composition perfectly right now on the defense. Good for another round for Cloud9. White split City Boys all the way to the B site. Don't even want to deal with A anymore because of that util.
It's so difficult. 0 points already been used. Mel didn't get tagged up by it, so now you have to assume trap wires can be anywhere. This one just a bit deeper as Bob pushes through. Last time, the go button on that swing was the recon bolt. This time, Bob is going to do it dry, and it does pay off. The C's, oh no, Alexis, they line up for her. She sits down to make it. Green needs one more. It's a player inside logs as Pancakes fights for his life. He's in the trenches, and he'll get knifed by Jazzykins, and it's a near flawless victory for Cloud9 White.
And that is where the pain in his name comes from. Knifed by Jazzykins to wrap up the round. It's a 5-round lead now for Cloud9 White. Back to the gun round for City Boys. They were able to break through just one time, but you mentioned it. Why were they able to win that gun round, Tanner Metro? What did they use?
Dude, you can't.
Tanner Metro, you
I
know.
can't recall.
You know what they use as an ultimate.
I can't.
By a little robot guy.
Oh, the no command.
Yeah, that's right. And they don't got it into this round, so it's still going to be City Boys trying to figure out how to do it without the extra juice. Mel going to make it harder as Giovanni initiated utility. Will fade away. Just now the KO to play off of. And that ultimate not going to be in the pockets. Chain shell forward. Mel will fall. That's one Sentinel down. That's a lot of what was the B-side defense. So City Boys going to keep that one in the back pocket for later. For now, we'll reset a default.
Yeah, I think that puts it perfectly, right? Keep that in the back pocket. No reason not to try and go this way now because you don't have to worry about those cages, about the trap wire, about getting tagged up by the cam that's been in multiple different places round after round. And all said and done, the B site is the final destination. But unbeknownst to Cloud9 White, it's a direct 2v2. Zachary's across the map.
Very much so. This wraparound is going to be very late to the party. So the City Boys can accomplish before this player does arrive. Gucci show stops her hand. Do you step into it? Zachary now here. This retake, they don't want to step forward into that ultimate. They've stepped into Zachary's domain instead. He's good for one. He's walked away. And Jazzykins in mid. You get this operator out of the round. Slow orb stall for time mid-market. The second one as well.
And unfortunately, didn't have the angle. The flank, just so much done there from Zachary. Has kind of just been playing across the map, which I think is... I love Astra, and I love that that's available to you when you are playing the Astra. It's obviously incredibly important that you stay alive, which is why Zachary's been waiting so long to make these plays, right? That spike gets planted, then he's kind of giving himself like a 3, 2, 1. Okay, now I'm going to start to push through A because you need to stay alive to be able to help your team as the sole controller, but it just gives so much freedom to this team. Look, you're seeing it again, right? Zachary's going to lean out towards A.
Yep.
City Boys are going to lean out towards B. And again, you have to try and deal with Mel early in these rounds or it's not going to be possible to hit this B site.
It's quite fun to be able to lurk your controller. Zachary heard the drop towards Cat. So he's able to step forward. Cat, the player, that is. The location. Bob out with the drone. Spotted 2 up towards mid. Oki once again looking to take space in this direction. Bob will take Giovanni up the round. Again, Giovanni falls early. Pancakes to join the party, but there's that walk up for Zachary, that lurk that we spoke about. We'll grab Cat, who is this time hanging out towards Cat. Refrag not going to be there for Bob. Zachary on the A site.
You are divided.
Distracting. Cosmic Divide going to go up to give him some room towards health, stealing off the can. And we'll see where this one ends up.
Silence. Okay. That got dicey for a second, but that was kind of best case scenario for Zachary, right? The paranoia caused by this singular player. And then also isolating a couple of duels for himself and tossing out this Cosmic Divide. Now Okeanos able to neutralize one in the 1v3. So a couple more players still to worry about. It's Alexis and Bob on the opposite side. These are the two standout players, and one of them is now gone. Okeanos going to look to get this spike planted just at the bottom of the stairs. And now this B site is his oyster, right? Okeanos can do whatever he wants. He has so much to play with. And Bob has so much to clear.
Yeah, has totems up, has the first one planted behind the box. Will peek, dry, though. We'll win it out. Bob will fall to mid-market. Okeanos will grab a 3-piece and one intelligent 1v2. Because the fact that, well, I guess a 1v3, but the 1v2 afterward, after the fact. The Jazzykin skill comes through, switches to the operator, plants to the front of site so you can get to CT quickly, which is the fact that one of these players on the A site is going to be headed in the CT department, catches them off guard, isolates into a 1v1, is then able to grab a rifle picked up off the ground to make that secondary look easier and bring what is a confusing fight for that remaining player, the fact that it's not an operator anymore, I'm not on the far angle, I'm on a close angle, and I've got a rifle.
Bring them down.
Prowler's out early, see nothing at all towards the archway. Recon bolts destroyed pretty instantly, so no info for either initiator thus far. Walls up very early this go around for Cloud9 White. Nice B lobby spacing. But it does not deny the mid spacing, which means the Prowlers come through mid market. Kiana's thinking about rendezvous to step forward. Hasn't thrown that second totem down just yet, but has taken all the space. So he's looking to CT, see nothing. Door going to be down. You break it early. That's a strong proponent of the defense. They'll be gone pretty quickly. The rest of the team, though, wanting to scale over per day.
Face your fear!
And Zachary here. Not alone. Nightfall, I believe, only going to get Katsumi, but she can still play the one-way smoke. No harm, no foul, as Giovanni thought about, flirted with the idea of tossing out some more utility. Meanwhile, Okeanos' position has been noted here inside market. And yeah, this is just a lot of space taken here at this point in the game. Gucci going to clear out spawn, toss out the paint shell, forcing Jazzy to use that heal orb early, and for what? Jazzy falls. Cat finds the trade. Will look to back away from it. Nice kills from Bob, though, from the stairs. The Pancakes headed for the hills, but the backstabs, they're still prevalent, right? Giovanni pushing through the spawn. Zachary's still here. Ready for the trap wire. Going to take that one down. There's only 13 seconds, Cat. They have to make a move right now, and Mel's still here. Tosses out the hat. Will now get the information. Has to try and do it with two players directly in front of her. Will back away with 10 HP. The spike gets planted. We get 4 players still alive in a 4v1. Mel still stands. And Pancakes, you're not long for this world, buddy. No resurrection to be had here on the robot. And it's Bob to close us out. 8-4, Cat. But is that enough?
Hey, look, Tanner, I hate to put the X-Phase player on the spot. You're Zachary, you gotta win that.
Switching sides.
Gotta win that. Vandal in your hand, you're playing against what is a sheriff under hell. And Mel staying alive that whole time brings so much value, forces the 2 players on generator, no choice but to look for it. Luckily for them, they do still get the plant down, but already the value's been done. Zachary wins that. They've got to look for 3 players on the post plant. They've got space to work with. They can play hell themselves. This opportunity dwindled pretty quickly. You asked Tanner Metro, is that enough? Fantastic question, because I'll tell you the fact that Sage Wall's great, Sage Slows are great, Tripwires are great, very functional, very good for the defense, but now how do you make space with them? Sage Wall is the answer as you get the value to plant, but to plant you got to be on the site. How do you get into the site now? This composition is the question, because we've got Season 8 combination, we've got Gravity Well, we've got Astral utility, all this still great for the defense, but had value on the offense as well. City Boys able to escape with 4 rounds, which I think is plenty for what is going to be a much more well-rounded composition for them when it comes to the defense, especially against a team that doesn't really have much of an answer in terms of getting in.
Yeah, no, not at all. And, well, they're trying to get in. Wall goes out. Okay, Jazzy gets a kill onto Zachary. So it's a 1-for-1 thus far. Meanwhile, Okeanos looking to do some damage, and we go back and forth, a 2-for-2. The spike should be planted. The cage goes out. And that'll at least give a bit of information if somebody's looking to push on through. And it's actually Pancakes to jump on the flash around the corner. And Cat has no idea where it's coming from. A couple of right clicks later. And Cat will fall, but Mel is doing everything for the squad. It's up to Pancakes one more, the robot. But he's missing a few screws. A 4K for Mel. And the pistol round here, at the very least, Cat, that should net them the anti-eco. And now you have one more round of breathing room, right? You have one more round to really figure out, okay, how are we going to attack these sites when they have the full buy? And that's everything right now for Cloud9 White to keep this momentum going forward.
That it is. This one should be a bit of a formality. City Boys going to grab 2 shorties, and we all know that's typically one and done. I'll see what value they're able to bring to this roster, but to your point, yeah, Cloud9 White find themselves 6 rounds of breathing room. Less rounds to figure out how to actually get into that site to get that spacing. Speaking of spacing, take all this room. The lobby. Oh, 2 looks. A 3rd shot can't come through because Mel's taking the frag too quickly. Sokianis has fallen for nothing. Gucci caught out in the open with the shorty, not able to get far enough into the angle. So Bob has that frag, and Cloud9 White happy to walk into the B site. Stalling for a moment, though.
Out of charges.
Hey, 6 orb bolts. That feels pretty good. That feels pretty good. Like you said, North Def comes through, gives information on the rotators. They know, hey, Zachary's not ratting behind us somewhere. Like,
the entire
like
attacking app, right?
Yeah, like the entire. So, okay, check this out, though. Right, we have some time. I'll scream at the top of my lungs if Zachary makes this possible. Okay, so Zachary falls. Now we have a very split second here in this bonus round to talk about how this works, right? This comp, to me, screams, and I hate to do it, but I'm going to say screams old school tactical shooter CSGO, right? The way that you have to play this for Cloud9 White, I think, is that everybody lines up their lineups and we say, okay, we're hitting this site, right? It's completely different to what, you know, the Rays and the Jet are going to bring by just saying, hey, we're just going to dash on and we're going to go from there. Obviously, you have your set plays, but I think that's what we see. I think we see Cloud9 White really setting up, Bob with the lineups, Alexis with the flashes over the top, tossing down those cages, Jazzy trying to get in and wall off some of these avenues of approach for City Boys. And I don't know if that works all the time for this game specifically, but I think that's what they're going to be looking for.
Yeah, I think you're definitely onto something you can. The question for me is if they're able to fake and rotate off of what you see that utility. If you get creative enough with it, you can certainly throw fakes, and you get cross-map darts with Sova. There's definitely potential. We'll have to see. Giannis has found potential up towards mid. Has caught Alexis out of Cat, so she'll fall. They also have wind of what is the scaling now going on. Mel's going to take space into mid. The Cypher, remember, not the chamber, so does not have the TP out. It'll be that trademark close. Will break it. Looking at a double swing in their future, and they cannot get out of this one, regardless if they grab that first frag.
Yeah, Mel just going to back away from that one. A player down, so City Boys pretty. And Pancakes, so this is the problem, right? Is you literally just have to run at this one. You have to funnel on through. 30 seconds on the clock. Pancakes will back away so they can see the space inside tree room. And, well, that space, it's going to be taken by a few members inside the dark cover here. Trying to catch somebody off guard, and they do. Giovanni falls. Well, with 20 seconds, you have to hit this A site. You do not have time to rotate elsewhere. And that means Jazzy needs to get this spike on the site, and they have to deal with Pancakes first. It's a couple of body shots from the Guardian, and Cat will find Pancakes falling. The wall goes up. The spike goes down with 10 seconds on the clock, and Cloud9 White may have found a way as Cat scoops up a Phantom, finds a kill with it, and Gucci left to pick up the shattered glass that are City Boys here in their defense. Healthy. Bobby cannot say the same, but a headshot through the wall will land, and Cloud9 White do it again.
That they do off of what is quite the interesting offensive strategy. Consistent pressure up towards Cat. They get the utility out from the KO. They leave Pancakes with nothing but a flash. So much so he has to head to the back of the site. And while he's there, they throw themselves a dark cover slow to make sure no one can help in what is that initial look. And then they say, we'll go garden ourselves. We'll take a look forward to count to scaffold, which is so scary. So confident through with just 22 seconds. And then they have to just win the gunfights. They have to run into them. They don't have really the util to work with. So they have to personally take the fights. And they just won them all confidently, without a doubt. Spoke the talk, and well, they walked the walk as well. Able to win it out and take the round because of it. City Boys looking at a pretty scrappy force by 3 judges in the hands. You swing this drone 100%. If Bob drones this, you swing.
Yeah. All right, well
played and nothing to be added.
Yeah, timing will escape. Zach does get spotted, and a classic to shoot at that. I don't know. I don't know if you're still expecting a classic right now, if you're Cloud9 White.
It's Nebula gone early for what was that one way. So Nebula gone now on this hold. Gravity Well's out. That's 3 of the 4 Astra Stars. Still a minute to play with. This team can completely disengage. They got so much util up. Fragment as well. It's a very good early look from Cloud9 White. They got so much value in terms of what util they've killed. And they've still got plenty of time for the rotation, 40 seconds.
Yeah, they are still here. I think the Cloud9 White play, right, is wait for Zachary to do something. We know this guy wants to take space somewhere on the map. He wants to try and lurk behind us. Let's see if he does that. Fortunately for City Boys, he's not doing it just yet. Couple shot darts go out. Damage doesn't land onto Zachary. However, he does Gets spotted thanks to the 0 point up close. Now Pancake trying to right all the wrongs from round prior. But only 2 kills to be found. Giovanni falls with a headshot from Jazzy. Kinzaguchi tries to sneak through the door. Can't do it. But delays for just a second. Very close to not getting the spike planted. Where Cloud9 white and now Gucci up. Long range. We saw long range with the shorty. Now we get long range with the judge. And, well, the fate is all the same.
That it is, and that's match point for Cloud9 White, a team that we said, well, should realistically struggle on the attacking side, have not been by any means. Been looking pretty strong on the attacking side, getting creative with it. That double wall up with Jazzykins and Mel to find value for players. Scaffold to go over their own cage, just like the reverse one way.
Yeah.
Blocking off everything below and then coming above what is their own pseudo smoke. And while it's done quite a bit of work, now they just need this one round to close this out and take us to what will be map 3 of Fracture. City Boys looking at scuffed by once again, light armor and a Spectre, and congregating towards mid right now, caught by what is a 0 point.
Look at this. This is tough for Cloud9 White. They're completely surrounded here towards the A side. Zachary, the only defender directly on the site. 2 stars at the feet. They just walk on up. No problems to be had there.
Ooh. Oh, Pancakes will grab Mel.
Spike planted.
That long flank caught. Cloud9 White. Flash for Alexis, and she'll find Pancakes. So they'll deal with their own flanker. One more on its way. Let's see what value that has. You need it quickly, though, for the retake. Time starts to be killed. Alexis will kill Okeanos. Cat has Gucci. Giovanni 1v4.
Catch them.
Yeah, Giovanni 1v4. I mean, the adversity is just too much.